I want to talk about what we saw from the Lakers yesterday. We're going to get back to more of the book and what we're going to see on Wednesday. Luka looked like he was, after having maybe his worst game as a Laker a few nights before, he looked like the dude who destroyed the Thunder in last year's Western Conference semifinals. Yesterday, like spearheading that. LeBron took a backseat, like Luka's playmaking, spraying it around to shooters, hitting 15 threes in the first half, blowing out the Thunder on the road. Do you think that means more for the Lakers and Luka, maybe from a confidence standpoint, and hey, we can walk into that building and beat them and they haven't proven anything? Or do you look at it like Oklahoma City, they still have more to prove in terms of the fear factor? Or do you look at it as a regular season game with last week of the regular season and you got another opportunity in another night to rectify that?
Well, listen, we all understand that the Thunder, a lot of people won't believe it until they see it.
Yep.
And you don't show that in early April. Those are a late May and June kind of conversation, and they haven't been to late May or June yet. I do believe they will be. I do believe they're going to have multiple cracks at it. But, I believe that about the Thunder when it was KD and Russ and James Harden. We know how that played out. So the Thunder, they're going to have to earn their respect, regardless of the fact they're going to have the best point differential in NBA history. But to me, it's more about the Lakers, and it's about a group that is still very new. They have not had a lot of time together. Luka, it was really, honestly, it was very impressive to me how much they were winning when Luka was clearly in kind of a training camp mode, coming back off the longest injury absence in his career, getting over the emotional devastation of being dumped in the middle of the night, being completely blindsided and backstabbed. No idea it was coming. New team, new circumstances, new everything. And he wasn't himself for a while. We have seen, including Sunday afternoon in Oklahoma City, multiple glimpses of that dude, Luka. We still haven't seen what I call full-blown Luka performance in a Lakers uniform. I mean, listen, we all know this guy can put up a 50-point triple-double.
Easy.
We've seen the stat line. It's not we think he can. We've seen him do it on multiple occasions. And we still haven't seen that guy. I wouldn't bet against it. And I wouldn't bet against it come playoff time. I do think Oklahoma City comes out of the West, just to be clear. But the Lakers are a real threat. LeBron coming back off the injury. The one thing, there was a lot of talk, Luka, LeBron, how are they going to share the ball? Dude, this is the best thing that could happen to LeBron.
Yes.
Just like Kyrie last year. Hey, man, Luka is going to carry the load for most of the time. You kind of get in where you fit in. You run. You're going to get some, as LeBron said, QB1 is going to deliver to wide receiver 1. Luka's the best look-ahead passer in the game. And you're going to have energy. You're going to have fresh legs come the fourth quarter, which Kyrie was such a great closer last year. I think LeBron can, we've seen him fill that role. And they're two of the smartest players to ever play the game. Like, the fit was not going to be a problem. Yeah. I said early on, fitness is a concern for Luka, but fit with LeBron, no. And I think, the fitness is getting better. And I'll be honest, I don't think the Lakers are a real deal contender for another transaction cycle or two.
Right.
They need a real big. They need a real rim protecting, rim running big. And I think they get that this summer at the latest before next trade deadline. But they're going to have at least 2 of the 3 best players in every playoff series. So like they're going to have a chance in every playoff series.
Dude, that would be terrifying. Like, for one, Oklahoma City is the only team that I thought would have enough perimeter defenders that are big enough and long enough that can keep your number one scorer from having to guard one of their 3 guys. Like, you can hide Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if you want to. You can put him on Austin Reeves, but you can hide him somewhere else. That's why in my head I was like, Oklahoma City has the personnel where you could put Lou Dort on one of those guys, and you could put J-Dub on one of those guys, and you can feel reasonably comfortable even when you pull my man Elmer Fudd off the bench. You know what I mean? Alex Caruso. You can feel reasonably comfortable with your perimeter defense that you're not compromised. Yesterday, they just basically said, screw that strategy. We're going to hit threes. We're going to compromise everything. I don't think I've ever seen Oklahoma City this year look so disheveled and confused defensively. Like, that's the thing. If Luka gets it going, they've got the shooters to make this thing really interesting. They don't have the bigs, but they got the shooters.
And Luka will tell. I think he said it again last night. Like Lou Dort is one of the defenders. Like Luka's said over and over again, he's a top 3 perimeter defender in the NBA. Luka has immense respect for Lou Dort. The one time he played him this year in a Mavericks uniform was one of Luka's worst games. It was in an NBA Cup elimination game up there. In Oklahoma City. And honestly, last year during the playoffs, Luka had a couple of games in that series, but the Thunder succeeded in their mission of containing Luka and Kyrie. Those guys averaged about 40 a game combined during that series after being right at 60 for the regular season. And they did it. They said, we'll live with P.J. Washington and Derek Jones Jr. Well, P.J. Washington in particular and Derek Jones Jr. late in that series, they made the open shots that were presented to them because there was so much attention on Luka especially and also Kyrie. So I won't knee-jerk too much in terms of saying, oh, this shows us OKC's frauds, because I don't believe that.
Right.
However, Luka is getting his legs under him. I think he's gotten through kind of the emotional processing of just this shocking trade, and honestly, just being broken up with and shamed on his way out by the Mavericks organization. And when the guy was in the process of closing on his forever home in Dallas, like, the man lost his earnest money. Not that he can't afford it, but that shows you just how it was no question. Was he going to sign the Supermax? Hell yeah, I was signing the Supermax this summer.
Yeah. You're not passing up that money. Even if you want to get out, you're not passing up that money.
But he didn't want out. Now, he might have wanted Nico out. That relationship had frayed. Luka didn't want to leave Dallas, though. You see the joy starting to come back. And Luka operates at emotional extremes.
Yes.
Ain't no even keel with Luka.
He's either brooding or he's doing the finger guns, not the Ja Morant finger guns, but the real finger guns.
He is either smiling or snarling. There ain't no in between.